Hey YouTube, it's that dude named Dave and welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Before we get started here, we have to do the price of admission. I don't charge much for these videos. Like, subscribe, and the bell notification below. Look, I see you guys are watching these videos, but you're not subbed yet. So here's the thing. Let me help you by helping me out here. Give you guys a few seconds to do this. Okay, few seconds. We got that out the way. We're not here for long intros. So with today's video, we're coming back to Kevin Samuels. In this video, a female caller was asking him what it would take to get a high value man, but he would need to be a stepdaddy. So this should be interesting. So we're going to get to the video. We're going to let Kevin cook in. We're going to try to make this make sense.
How are you?
Hi.
So just to be honest, I hear everything that you're saying, but what is the solution?
Okay, so first of all, let's do this. How old are you?
I turned 32.
Okay. Do you want to be married?
I do want to be married.
All right. So my question is, you're going to ask me what's the solution? Why do ladies always want to come ask me for a solution for them?
I think that it seems like you're coming off as the expert, so therefore we would like to know your...
and the solution... Okay, no. Well, honestly, you want the dead honest truth? Solutions cost money. Okay.
How much money?
Well, go to my website and book a session like Bianca did. Because if you're good at something, you don't do it for free.
Good point.
I do understand that.
You don't do individualized sessions. And see, here's the
let me pause here really fast here. A lot of people give Kevin Samuels flack because when they call in and then sometimes he pushes back and he says, you need to go to my website and book a session. It's because before the YouTube thing popped off, you said he's an image consultant. So if you go to his website, he has various prices regarding consulting, whether from a business level, professional level, personal, just overall changing up your style, basically, depending on how you want to look and present yourself. So that's why he states, like, if you really want a true one-on-one, you need to go to his website and book a session, because he doesn't make anything off YouTube here besides YouTube advertising. So I want people to understand that and just put that out there. All right, back to the video.
Solution is shed light on this problem so women don't get into this situation. That's the solution for the general audience. So let's take it this way. You're 32?
Yes.
What's your longest relationship?
4.5 years.
How long ago was that?
This past February.
Oh, just
February 2020?
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys get married?
He wanted to, but he simply will not mature. It lacks ambition, and we have too much
Do you have any children?
emotional history.
You have any children?
Yeah, we have one son. He is he just turned 2.
You turned 2?
Okay, young kid.
So you were having sex and reproduced the child with a man who's immature. And then you want to take that out onto the market and get someone to marry you.
Well, I don't have a problem with getting people that are interested in me long term.
No. Understand.
However,
Listen.
I gotta pause here because I hate when I hear this here, and I've noticed this a lot in Kevin Samuels videos when women say this, and I've come across this in real life. You will hear women, if you try to talk to them, you're trying to holler, some things are going on, and say, well, I got all these guys in my inbox. I don't have a problem with getting men's attention. But here's the thing, ladies, it's one thing to get a man's attention. It's one thing to be in your inbox and your DMs, but it's another thing when he wants to be with you long term. He actually wants to present you with a ring and actually wants to make you his wife and then rock with you for the end of times here. If that is not happening, if it's not a man with intent that is showcasing strong qualities, all he is doing there is he knows is that he can be there and hit it and quit it. You got to think about that men can be there to hit it and quit it, but is he really there for the real reasons, ladies? Back to the video.
My content is, I don't see the whole dealing with, we keep score over here by marriages, because yes, I know women don't have problems getting somebody to deal with them, date them, deal with them long term. It's marriage or not.
Okay.
And what it comes down to is you were with somebody for 4 years that you said was immature, but yet you chose to be sexually active with them. and chose to bring a child into the world, why would a man want to have you as a wife and deal with an immature baby daddy?
Good question.
Or volunteer to be a stepfather for a child that's not an asset to him?
Somebody that meets me or my son would see value in me as a person.
Well, if that's the case, if somebody that meets you would see value, I'm asking you, so you should be able to tell me the value.
What's my value?
No. So see, you ladies like yourself like to do this. Well, when somebody meets me, listen. Ladies like yourself would like to frame it this way. When you meet me, you'll see my value. Well, you have to be able to communicate that value too, because everyone can't meet you. And at 32 years old, you should know the value you bring to a man, especially if you expect him to be a stepfather to your child and deal with a man who's a child's father who's not mature.
That's a good point that Kevin's saying here, because he's basically saying, she's saying that you should be able to see this here when you meet me, but not everybody's going to be able to see you physically. So are you able to verbally communicate what you are able to bring and what are the assets that you bring to a man in a dating situation here? And so what we're seeing here in a lot of times today is that women cannot properly communicate. And so that's what he's asking here. Is one thing you can say you see, but what if we can't see you? Back to the video.
Absolutely.
Do you want to have more children?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to have more children?
I do. I want a big family.
Oh, wow.
How many kids you want to have?
You want a big family.
How many kids you want to have?
All right, let's see here.
I mean, as many as I can afford.
Okay, as many as you can afford. What do you do for a living?
I'm a realtor.
Uh-oh.
Okay. About how many kids would you like to have, since you already have
about realtors, y'all?
I would like to have like 4 more.
Four more.
So a family of 5. What state?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So what would a man need to make to fund a family of 5 children, a wife and himself? So a family of 7. How much would a man need to make to provide for a middle class?
Before that's answered here, just remember, she just turned 32 years old. So what do we talk about? The wall. What do we talk about? Geriatric pregnancy. Okay. If you're 32, you want 4 more kids. Is the math adding up, ladies? Guys, do we know the math and understand that? Is it really possible for a woman at her age right now to really produce 4 more kids right now, especially the fact that she is not even married and does not have a suitable partner at this exact moment right now? Think about it. Let's get back to the video.
That's upper middle class life.
I would think combined income maybe around 380.
Excuse me?
In order for us to travel and everything
380 in Atlanta?
The way I like to travel.
380, no, you're talking closer to 5.
Oh, boy.
3 children is about 350.
Okay.
I'm talking closer to 5.
Ouch, y'all.
And do you plan on, obviously, I guess you plan on working after you're pregnant?
I wouldn't mind working. I like working.
No. Let me ask the question. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
I don't necessarily want to have to, but I wouldn't mind.
So
Exactly. Ladies, stop this here. At the end of the day, no one really wants to work, especially ladies here. If you find a guy that you really want to deal with and rock with here, you know what's going to happen? You're going to hope that he can take care of you, especially when you have kids and you're not able to work like he's stating here. So don't say, I like working. Let's be honest, people. Who really likes working? I understand and having a purpose and having a business and being on your drive. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be on an island right now, getting some drinks and smoking on something, if that makes sense to y'all, okay? I ain't trying to be working every day. So ladies, stop saying I like to work. In actuality, y'all not really trying to work. Just be honest and say, I want my guy to provide. Back to the video.
I need, no. I just want to know what you want. And the first thing that came out of your mouth is you don't want to have to work. And you want 5 kids. So even if you stair step these kids, if you start having children, that means you'd be out of work for at least 7-8 years.
Oh, wow.
What do you care if your husband's black, white, Hispanic, or other? You care if he's black?
It doesn't matter.
Is your child's father black?
He is black. Most of my exes are actually Asian.
Well, but you made a black child, so that's likely going to be who the next father is going to be, because men tend to be
Exactly.
pretty racial loyal and not wanting to have kids that don't look like them.
I understand that. And I would like for my son to have a black role model. I mean, his dad is out of state, but they
So,
have
ma'am, why would it? So this is the Rubik's cube you've
Stepdaddy.
given me.
Stepdaddy, she's
A
looking for
woman
y'all.
who wants a man who's making about the $500,000 a year, the money to be able to afford a wife and 5 children, one whom is not his own. That's what you would like. But yet, when you were younger, hotter, still in shape, and no children, you chose a guy who wouldn't even have a job.
doesn't have a job. I didn't say that.
You said he wouldn't keep a job.
No, I didn't say that. That's the wrong person. I didn't say that.
What did you
I
say?
said he was a little. I said he was not maturing.
I'm sorry. You said he's immature. He was
Tomato,
immature. I'm
tomato.
sorry. He was immature. Okay, he wasn't as ambitious, but you. Okay, I'm sorry. Scratch that. He wasn't ambitious, but you still made a baby with him voluntarily. See, what you ladies don't seem to understand is you want to ask for more from the next guy than you did for the guy who got you when you were younger and hadn't had any children. And it's unreasonable. And what percentage of men in this country earn $500,000 or more?
As far as I know, I think it's about 8%. Or I'm sorry, 500,000, 1%.
Right. And I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. Are you a 1% kind of woman?
No, I'm not in the top 1% at all. But I didn't ask for that. You kind of gave me those numbers. I didn't.
Well,
ask for
no,
Oh,
I
boy.
asked you what you wanted. And you said you wouldn't want to have to work and you want a big family. So whether you want to have $500,000 guy, what we do know is a $50,000 a year guy, which is middle of the road, won't do for a family of 5.
Right.
That's what we do know.
We got to make the math right here. She has 1 child already, and she says she would like a big family, wants 4 more. So we have to add that up and say, if I want this many kids here, and I know that I cannot work all the time because I'm going to be laid up, being pregnant, and then taking care of these kids, and then we're going to be having these back to back. If I'm 32 years old, then my significant other has to make this amount of money so as for safety here, as far as to be comfortable. All right. Anybody can have as many babies, but here's the thing though. How can you live as far as feeding, housing, education? Okay. So the idea is that if you want your kids to be in the best ideal situation without you being selfish and thinking properly here, he's saying 500,000. And how many men is really making this kind of money? And B, if he's making this kind of money, why would he take you with kids when he can find someone younger with no kids and do the whole thing? We have to make it add up, ladies, what you want, and then see who is the kind of man that can give it to me. And is that man actually real? Let's get back to the video.
So my question is, I mean, we listening to your channel.
Go ahead.
Listening to your channel, we are always told that single moms are pretty much dead and done, and here we're talking about age, and now I'm at the older or the elder part of my age range. And so it's more so like, okay, what is it that you think we should be doing, not as a single mother, but just as an older woman to secure a marriage? Not
okay. Well, okay. I'll answer your
Six-
question. I'll answer your question.
Okay,
And by the way, how tall are you?
I'm 5'2",
Dress size?
6.
She's kind of thick.
Okay. What women should do is
Small
marry
size.
before they have a child. Because this is what happens. You are too old, too many miles to be demanding high prices. What women in your position should do is be fortunate to lower your expectations down to your level. A man that's on your level and your
But I didn't give
income.
you a level.
Excuse me?
I didn't give you a level. You kind of created the level. I never told you a level.
Well, I would tell you, okay, what would you, okay, like, do this. You're a dress size 6. Where would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10?
I guess I would be in that 6 range that you talk
Right.
about.
And your level would be a man making about $50,000 or
Average.
$60,000. That's your level. I don't need you to give me a level. That's your level.
Real fast here. Women, we need to understand that you have the options to know what happens after you become pregnant. Okay. When people say I got pregnant or I was too young or I didn't know, there is so many options that are available to you, whether it's adoption, people don't want to hear about the big A, as far as terminating, or, you want to go ahead and carry on with it there. Those are just a couple of things here. But what about the contraceptive used prior to that? You see, we are adults, so we know what happens here. So you're laying down with this man here. And so you should know the consequences and the repercussions of said man here. So if you really want to be married one day and you know what's going to happen here, what are your options here? Marry your baby daddy. If you're going to have a kid with him, marry him. Have a stable family for your child. Stop being selfish. If you're not going to do that, then you're going to be this woman here who was calling in Kevin Samuels asking for questions why guys are not looking for her. See, you have to recognize what your real value is and what men are actually looking for. Let's get back to the video. See what Kevin says more here.
That's who did your child's father make more than that?
He was making 80.
All right,
80,000.
but he was immature.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to your level.
There you go.
You can't get higher than your level.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah,
want
I didn't ask for higher.
so the reality.
When you say you can't get higher than your level, which means that as men, we see that if you're with a less than man, that we feel that we're, the levels here is like, yo, you was messing with this guy here and you had a kid with him, we're not going to take you seriously here. All right. If we see that we're making $200,000 a year, your baby daddy makes 80 and you have this child, and we're going to say, yo, we can have some fun here, but I'm not taking her serious because she already got a dude here with the situation here. That is how we're thinking, like, long story short here. So let's see what Kevin has to say here again. Back to the video.
Reality is, so what would I tell a woman like yourself? Ma'am, you're too old to be wanting 5 kids. You're lucky if you find a guy who's willing to marry you and be a stepfather to a child, period. Because being a stepfather, which I have been one, is a thankless job.
Yes, it is.
Much less to a stepfather to a guy that, by your own admission, is not the caliber of a man you even wanted to marry. So I have to deal with a child and this guy, and it's a son. You have a son?
Yes, I do.
Right.
And he's with his dad half the time, and he's with me
Well,
half the time. So his dad is not a
and this is why women should marry your child's father and don't make babies with a man you're not going to be with for the rest of your life. Really, that's the answer. Because anything after this is trying to make the best of a bad situation. And I know it's not popular. And I know people don't like the way it sounds. But the older you get, the more women tend to want. You tend to want men who are earning more, doing more, to be able to provide more because your standards are higher because of lived experience. But your value is lower. You cannot get more in the main. Yes, there are women out there who can do it like Sierra and all these other kinds of stuff. But in the main, the majority of women cannot. And the problem is, most of you ladies look at your chances on the market as far too high. I mean, would you marry a man who's making $45,000 a year?
Good question.
Why is this big pause?
Quiet.
I mean, close to it, sure. If he had ambition.
No. See, there's
Qualifiers.
always an add-on when I ask these questions. I said making $45,000 a year. He's happy making $45,000 a year. He's gonna make $45,000 a year. He's not trying to be president. Excuse me?
No, I couldn't be satisfied with that. That type of complacency.
Then you screwed yourself.
You hear this, y'all?
Listen to what listen. This is what the video I'm about to upload, and this happens over and over. Every time I ask, the average black man is single. 51% of black men are single and childless. 64% are in the middle class. The average black man in this country earns $42,000 a year, $41,000 a year. An average white man earns 52. There's an $11,000 difference between black and white men. You're not going, so most men earn around $50,000.
That's right.
And what you just said is fully half of the country of men of all races are insufficient to a woman who's older with a child. That's insane.
I'm okay with 50,000 if he has desires to make
No,
more.
no, you're still, and this is in womanese. What this
Y'all
means
hear
is
this?
I can get him to make more. That's womanese. What she's saying is, I will take it as a starting point, but I'm going to continue to push you to try to become more. And no, ma'am, most people cannot make more. That's the median income. And this is the, you asked for a solution. I said the solution is to lower your expectations down to reality, because so many of you ladies are just insane with this. Why do you need, if half of the men in the country are earning that, why do you feel like you need more and you're bringing somebody else's kid to him?
I just, I invest in things, and
Well, congratulations, but you don't have a husband. So it doesn't matter. You don't have a husband, and you don't have any prospects for a husband on this level. You guys can talk a good game, but at the end of the day, men choose.
And on that note, I'm going to stop the video here. Kevin says a little bit more. They go a little bit back and forth. So I will put the link in the description below for you guys to check it out here. But this was a good, riveted conversation here. But why I brought this to the tribe, why I brought this to my people here, is because how often do we see women talk like this here? Okay, someone who's older, she's 32 years old, has one child, but let's make the math work here. You want 4 more kids and you want a high value man. But how many times do we got to repeat these on our platforms here? Let's state it here really fast. 26% of black women will ever be married. That is total. That's including the women who's been married 2 and 3 times, which means that those women who are able to do that takes away from the women who will never ever be married. So when we're talking about 26%, the number of total women, black women getting married, actually is lower, because we see those numbers here of women who actually can get married because of the way they look and how they appeal to the sexual marketplace. So we have this woman here who wants 4 kids. That is not going to happen at 32. That means that she needs to have a man right now. She needs to start having babies tonight, like on her wedding night, on honeymoon weekend. And then she has a kid 1 year, you kind of recover. You're going to have them back to back to back. In all actuality, if she does have a man, what's the realistic, idealistic idea, of her having kids here if she had a man today? What, 2 more kids if we're lucky? 2. But having 4, that doesn't add up, ladies. So what do we need to do here? We need to look at our assessment, look at our situation and say, what is the best that we can do to get a man? Or am I over evaluating what I actually can bring to a man and what I can bring to the table here? Because what do men want? Well, we're going to keep repeating this over and over and over again, because this is not cap. We want fit, feminine, and friendly women. We want women to understand us and to be able to know we're not trying to fight and compete with y'all here. We need women to be in their, not in a masculine state, but in their feminine state. And on top of that too, let's just put it out there. If you have kids, and if a man doesn't have kids, he is not going to take you seriously. Maybe a man who does have kids, like I stated in other videos, who wants that preference of a woman who does have kids to have like a blended family, because that may work for him in that aspect, that's minute. But if a man doesn't have kids, ladies, and you have kids, let's just open our eyes and say, is this man really going to rock with me, or I'm just a plaything? Because 9 times out of 10, he's not going to take you serious. Because where is your baby daddy at? Where is he at in the picture? And how come you are not with him? That is what we think. Because we hear all the time, oh, he was abusive, or I was young and dumb, or whatever it is, like I wasn't ready, or he wasn't ready, or the situation here, he was immature. You know what that tell us? You chose an immature man. You were with him that long, 4 years, and now you have a 2-year-old son. So you chose an immature man. You chose a man who was not right. And then now you want something more than your baby daddy. So I'm not even gonna be the one to have the first child with you, because you already have a child. So from a man's standpoint, already calculated, she could be beautiful. She could be nice. She could be sweet, But at the end of the day, she's my plaything. Ladies, understand that. That's how we see you here. So if you're going to lay down with a man, know that that is your man. Rock with him. If you leave him, just know that your opportunities of getting another man goes down lower and lower and lower. We're not saying it can't happen, but like we say about possibility and probability, what will happen? Comment, like, subscribe, click on the bell notification below. I want to know what the tribe thinks here in this conversation here, because these are very, very good talks here within us, not only in the Black community, but in all aspects between men and women, because we know now today dating is so messed up. All right. And so we need the genders, especially women, to understand where men are coming from here so that we can build nuclear families and grow as a unit. So I want to hear what the tribe has to say here. I appreciate you guys checking in. But until next time, I am that dude named Dave. See y'all later, YouTube world.